Using the SOMLOS S1 has left me in two minds about robotic vacuum cleaners. On one hand, I live in a small enough place that using a traditional vacuum cleaner takes me about 10 minutes to whip it round the entire house. On the other hand, my small place is almost the perfect scenario for robotic vacuum cleaners due to their limited capacities to hold dust and also battery life. Now, I've been using the SOMLOS S1 robotic vacuum cleaner for about 2 weeks now, and for the most part, things have been good. There have been a few hiccups along the way, but it's definitely something I'm going to keep plugged in and powered up for the long term. The SOMLOS S1 is a small disc-shaped robot that mirrors pretty much all other robotic vacuum cleaners on the market. It's covered in matte black plastic and is measured at around 33 centimeters wide and around 6 centimeters tall. Now, it's not very big at all, and when it was working in my home, every time it went into my bedroom and went under the bed, it either got stuck or took on some damage. Like, there is a scratch that currently runs the entire width of the unit. Now, I'm not sure where it got that from, but probably under the bed somewhere. Now, the SOMLOS S1 can fit underneath units, sofas, beds, and anything else that stands above 6 centimeters, which, okay, maybe not my sofa, but certainly my bed and my TV unit and my desk and things like that. Now, on top you can find two buttons, one for power and one to send the unit home if you didn't want it running around anymore. Home is the charger, and the S1 does a pretty great job of remembering where it is. There's also quite a flimsy lid, which, yes, while thin and pretty, it is pretty robust and snaps into place when closed. Underneath the flap is where the 300ml dustbin is held, and it's also where you can install the 300ml water tank for the mop cleaning feature. The unit itself, once home, will take around 5 hours to charge for around 90 minutes worth of cleaning time, which scheduling can help with this to put more cleaning times in place throughout the week. This also tracks inside of the app, so the vacuum cleaner doesn't go over the same ground twice until its entire cycle is complete. Now, this is why I mentioned at the start that robot vacuum cleaners suit small places. It's also worth noting as well that it isn't very loud at all, and the motor measures at under 68 decibels, and for a vacuum cleaner with a suction of 2000 PA, that's really not bad at all. The S1 relies on two rotary brushes which extend out of the front of the vacuum and rotates enough to move dust and grime towards the center of the machine. Now, the main rotary blade, which again is bristled, sucks up the dust. Now, the SOMLOS S1 vacuum cleaner relies on LDS laser mapping technology, which helps it navigate your furniture. It has a 360-degree LIDAR scanner on top, which you can see here, and for the most part, it does a great job of dodging physical objects. However, it did struggle to make its way around my office chair and even the tripod and microphone stand I use to make these videos. But these kinds of things may not be in a conventional house setup, so don't take that quite literally, because chances are you've not got a tripod in front of you or a microphone stand off to the side or lights on light stands in front of you either. So take that as you will. I will say though, do make sure your floor is clear of small objects. It won't detect them and it will run over them. Same with cables. That was the biggest bane with the SOMLOS S1 were cables. Now make sure they are bunched up, otherwise they will get tangled in these side rotors, and I've spent many a time just pulling the cables out of the side rotors. And also some things that have been sucked up, like small, phone chargers, for example, which have been sucked up through the center area on the bottom, and you just spend time pulling it out. You do get a notification on your phone to say that the unit is stuck somewhere. That's whether the unit is stuck because there are objects in the way and it can't move, or there are cables that have twisted up around the rotors or through the actual suction area in the center. You will get a notification to say there is a problem. If you leave your floors clear, then you really shouldn't have a problem at all. Now, the S1 maps pretty effectively thanks to its 5 pairs of collision sensors and 4 pairs of falling sensors. So that's for people with an upstairs and a downstairs. It won't all of a sudden just jump down the stairs. Setup was fairly easy once I spoke to the SOMLOS rep that I've been in touch with. Now, I had a real job to get the unit attached to my Wi-Fi network. It just kept telling me that I needed to reset the machine, which did get very tedious. But the SOMLOS app does have a manual mode to set up their smart products, being the S1 and also their lawnmower, which requires you to follow the on-screen instructions and, when prompted, enter your phone's Wi-Fi settings to manually connect to the wireless signal of the vacuum cleaner. Now, the password for your S1 will be in the box. I'm not sure if they're different between each model, but it's in the box for you to connect to it. When it's all up and running though, the app's interface isn't actually too bad at all for a robot vacuum. Smart products do tend to be a little hit and miss with apps and the kind of user experience, but everything on the SOMLOS app is clearly laid out. I had no trouble with it at all. Open up the app and you're greeted with the map of your home that the S1 has drawn out, followed by the status of the robot as well as battery life. There are several options here, starting with the main 4 at the bottom for recharge, start, suction, and water, and more, which will take you to the timer and schedule settings. There is a button to find your robot if for example, you've lost it under the bed, and the health of the brushes on the bottom. Now, after a week's use, mine hit 99% from 100%, of course, and you do get spare side brushes in the box to use if the original ones break. Back on the home screen, you can also find settings for the forbidden zoning, which tells the robot not to go near that area, like under your bed. I've got mine set to this area just here because of all the cables for the lights and things. I don't want it sucking up through the SOMLOS vacuum cleaner. And you've also got an auto clean function, which is pretty self-explanatory. While cleaning, and once the robot has mapped out your entire house, it will follow an S-type pattern similar to a mower cutting a football field or a Zamboni at an ice skating rink. Now, this ensures that the entire surface area of a room is covered effectively, and I have my S1 come on at 12 PM every day to give my house a quick once over, and for the most part it sucks everything up. And the only things it didn't actually manage to pick up is a bit of charcoal from when I was cooking. It just kind of flicked it around a bit with its blades, and these aren't particularly strong blades, but it didn't clean it, and nor does it do edges of the room too well either, because I mean, look at its shape, it's round, an edge of the room is typically going to be square. And that's really the nature of the beast. You can map out individual rooms and give the S1 instructions on what to do with those rooms too, whether that be a spot clean or part of your scheduled time. You can say this room for this time, this room for that time. You can also add forbidden zones as well. So like I said, for under beds or units, and I even added one to my desk area just over there, as I didn't want the bot to get caught up in all my PC cables and all my lighting cables, as it can be a bit of a nightmare. And to use the mop functionality, you need to set an area clean first to tell the S1 to only start cleaning your kitchen and nothing else, otherwise you'll get water all over your carpets and that won't be good. So the SOMLOS S1 robotic vacuum cleaner is a neat bit of kit which can help keep your house clean from general dust. It can't do chunks of food that might fall onto the floor in the kitchen while cooking, but that's expected. The app is a delight to use and very simple to instigate all functionalities of the robot, and the actual unit itself looks decent and very modern. I do like the design. I didn't really use the mop function all of that often, as the only moppable area is my kitchen, and it was a bit time consuming to empty the standard dustbin to then fill up a separate tank with water for it to do the kitchen, when I could be done with my kitchen in a few minutes if I just mopped it manually. Now, you can find the SOMLOS S1 online for €650, which again is pretty much expected for one of these things, but for the most part it's a nice vacuum cleaner. If you wanted to pick one up for yourself, there is our affiliate link down below as well. So thank you very much for checking out our video review of the SOMLOS S1 robotic vacuum cleaner. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to keep up with our latest tech and gaming videos, and also leave us a comment down below letting us know what you think about the SOMLOS S1 or what you think about robotic vacuum cleaners in general. Are you a user of one? Would you use one in your house? Just let us know in the comments down below. As I say, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.